What up, gamers? Welcome back to Zord Central. I'm Daniel, or you can call me DJ if you like, and today we're going to talk about the dark side of online multiplayer gaming. Okay, so for starters, I first started playing online multiplayer games back in the early days of the original Xbox, back in the early 2000s, right after Microsoft first rolled out the Xbox Live service. And at first thought, it was like, wow, this is a lot of fun. It's not just you sitting there with a controller playing a single player game or doing split screen with a small group of friends in your basement. Now it's you're playing with anybody, anywhere in the world, at any time. And you're building relationships with people. You get to know people. You make friends with people. And you kind of build a clique, for the games you play. And I really like the social aspects of it. It really was. At first it really did seem like a lot of fun. 12 to 16 player matches in FPS games like Far Cry. And you know what? After a few years, I started to really think differently about it. Then I started to think, you know what? Maybe this isn't all what it's cracked up to be. Maybe online multiplayer gaming isn't that great. Because it seemed like for all the fun it was worth at the same time, there was a lot of headaches involved, dealing with trolls, people coming in and wrecking, ruining your match, ruining the night, putting everybody in a bad mood. And it was seemed like when you would go to report people, the bad actors to Microsoft, to the Xbox Live service, they would just ignore it. They didn't even care. So the trolls would just skate free. And if you block somebody, you can't block them from public matches. They can still get in the game. A lot of games like Far Cry did not have the boot feature. So if people came in there and trolled you, you're stuck. You can kick them. You can't kick them. You can shut down the match and start a new one. They'll just come in there and troll the crap out of you there. Well, you know what? After so many years of dealing with all the drama of online all the negative, the bad effects of online multiplayer gaming, I finally got fed up and I said, I'm just done. I'm tired of all this drama. It wasn't fun anymore. Even the friends I made on Xbox Live said they're tired or sick of it. I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. And a lot of us just quit Xbox Live. I shut down my Xbox Live account almost 4 years ago. And I've never renewed my membership. I said, I'm sick of this. I went back to playing my original Xbox, playing my PS2, and it was like, you know what? This is great. I forgot how much fun it was and how peaceful and cool and calm and collect it was to just sit here and play a single player game without all the freaking drama of online multiplayer platforms like Xbox Live. And, then I got onto Steam, about a year after I shut down my Xbox Live account. I jumped on the Steam and I was like, you know what? This is cool. This is almost better than Xbox Live because it seemed like it was a lot more manageable. It seemed like when I blocked somebody on Steam, they couldn't get into the matches. They couldn't get into my public matches. They couldn't get into my games. Once you block somebody on Steam, you're blocked. That was it. And then you didn't have to deal with them again. And I really liked that. I thought that was just great, because that was my biggest complaint with Xbox Live. But it was still the same situation. You still had people that came in and wrecked the game. And just caused all kinds of drama and we ended up putting me in a bad mood, putting the other players in a bad mood. And then I quit for like 2 years. I just didn't do any online multiplayer for 2 years, and then I came back to it this past year. It was actually I think late April of this year, of 2017, I got back into playing Left 4 Dead 2 because that's like one of my favorite FPS games of all time. I've always loved zombie shooters. I originally got into the game, back on the Xbox 360 back in 2008 when the original game first came out, and it was a lot of fun. And I didn't know anybody on Steam, so here, this is before, in the spring, I started to connect with new people. And, there were random people. I didn't know who they were, right? And I told people, I got to know people. And, people ask questions. They want to know about you, right? And I don't tell everybody all my personal information. But, I told him, I said, yeah, I run a gaming news brand, and we're on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus. It's called Gamers Bay. And we have an online gaming community. We have a gaming channel, and they're like, "Oh, you have a channel, really?" And they're like, "Well, we want to check it out." Next thing I knew, it was like everybody's like, "Man, let's make some videos. Let's do some Left 4 Dead stuff," And I had done a couple videos of like some custom maps and so forth, and I hadn't done any more than that. And now it was like I had all these people insisting, no, 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 dude, like you should do multiplayer. We should do versus matches. We should do videos on Gamers Bay. And next thing I know, we ended up recording, I think it was over 600 videos this past summer. It's ridiculous. It was a lot of videos, and I built a kind of a clique, kind of a group of people of about 8 or 10 regular players that we all play together on a regular basis. And so it was great. It helped me to build my gaming media, Gamers Bay. And by the way, this is, I'm on Zorch right now. Zorch Central is actually owned and operated by Michael Haney, who is also a manager. He's a moderator and manager of my gaming brand, Gamers Bay, of the gaming news brand. And we've been friends for a long time. We trust each other. We've been friends for a very long time, and so I made some friends, in the Left 4 Dead community this year, and we get into playing games, and we're doing videos, and they insisted, yeah, you should do this, you should do Left 4 Dead stuff. And I'll tell you what, we did all, like, I don't know how many different mods we've done, how many different custom maps, custom campaigns we've covered. We've done so much cool stuff. It was a lot of fun. And then, you know what? It really sucks because it's kind of like that nightmare from Xbox Live. It feels like it came back and slapped me in the face after all these years. Here you get to know people, you start to trust people, and you make friends with people, and then all of a sudden, you know what? At any time, somebody just, for no reason at all, just becomes toxic. Just becomes totally toxic, and they just for whatever reason now they're not your friend anymore. They're your worst enemy, and there's no explanation as to why. And so anyways, one of the core players, the core players, there was 4 of us, and then there was 4 or 5 other people that filled in when any of the core players were not available. And so this team of 4 core players, we played together almost every day. I mean, I had this year so far, I've had probably 600-700 hours of gameplay with these guys, easy, at least 600 hours. And one of them just completely turned on us, just out of the blue. He's a totally cool guy. He's in 3/4 of the Left 4 Dead videos that are on Gamers Bay. In fact, if you want to check them out, you can go over to just type in Gamers Bay in the search bar here on YouTube, and you can see there's a ton of Left 4 Dead stuff. And so this guy, he's like in like 80% of the 75-80% of the videos, and we've been friends all this time. We've always gotten along. There's never been a problem. And then all of a sudden, like a few days ago, we're in the lobby. I had talked to him on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go play. And we hadn't played in a few weeks, and so it was a weekend, and we're like, yeah, let's all get together. And we had the whole original group of players, the 4 of us, that have always gotten along with each other. We've always played well together. And all of a sudden, this guy, one of them, not giving any names, I'm not looking to trash anybody or anything like that, but out of the blue, he hits me up on chat on Steam, and he starts screaming at me, and I'm like, what? I'm confused. I'm like, what's going on? And there's no explanation. He's just cussing at me. You're a piece of crap. It was a lot of profanity, and he starts using like the N-word and stuff. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, dude. I'm like, what's the deal? Can we talk about this? Can we? We've been playing together all this time. I have total respect for you. I don't know why you're doing this. And there was no explanation. He would not give me a solid explanation. He just called me the N-word and a bunch of other stuff. And then so anyways, the month prior, I had stopped playing for about a month now, and I was getting messages from one of the other core players saying this guy was giving him a bunch of crap and talking a bunch of crap about him. And I'm confused. I knew there was some drama going on during the 4 weeks that I was away and I wasn't playing. Okay, so I knew something wasn't right. I didn't know what was going on with this guy or why he was causing this other guy drama. Like I said, we played together every day the entire summer. There was no drama. And, all of a sudden he's going off on him. Well, I get on, and when I talked to this guy on Facebook, the one that went off on us, I had talked to him the day before for like a half an hour on Facebook, on Messenger. Everything was fine. There was no problems. Everything was cool. I talked to him 3 days prior to that, last week. I talked to this guy all the time, sometimes every day. And now all this freaking drama. And, it's really disappointing because, I feel like I lost a friend, and then it was so disappointing. It was so depressing the way that things went down. I was like, man, I ended up leaving. I shut the game down. I'm like, man, I didn't want to play this anymore. And then I go back to Gamers Bay and I see all these videos these guys did with me. They're all in these videos. We're all in these videos together. And all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, wow, it's kind of like, it's really upsetting because here somebody who I thought was my friend, actually, they were my friend, and for whatever reason, they hate me now. I have no idea why, and they hate another friend of ours. I'm just confused. And I still have to like relive the memories of being friends with this person because all these videos are my channel. I'm like, do you delete all the videos that we did together? I mean, what am I supposed to do? So it's really upsetting, that it goes, things can go, people can just become toxic on a whim for no reason at all. There's no explanation. There's, like I drove this guy. I'm like, dude, come on, man. We've all been playing together for months and months and months. There's never been a problem. And now all of a sudden you hate everybody and everything. And you want to trash the world. I just don't get it. This makes absolutely no sense at all. And so I never did get a solid explanation. I just told him, I said, you go ahead, go your way, and I'll go mine, and we'll just leave it at that. I'm not, it was upsetting. That's just the way it went. And, it's even the same thing. It's not just that one situation. Another thing I noticed throughout this year, doing all the videos, all the multiplayer matches on Far Cry, I mean, not Far Cry, I mean Left 4 Dead, was that on Steam, was that it was real similar to the situation I experienced on Xbox Live. There was a lot of toxic players. You get people that come in there and just start screaming the N-word and just going off of everybody, telling everybody they're going to kill you and all this stuff. And it's just ridiculous. It's just totally nuts. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Like I said, I think some people are just butthurt and they're just miserable people and they just want to make everybody else as miserable as they are. That's the only explanation I can think of. But Steam is a manageable platform. You can build a group of friends to play with. And like I said, I thought it was a lot cleaner. It was a lot more manageable than Xbox Live. And so I stuck with it. And so now it's kind of like, after what happened, the way all the drama that went down, I was really upset for a few days. I was like, man, I don't even want to play. I don't want to have anything to do. I love Left 4 Dead, and I love playing with these guys, but man, I don't know what all this drama is. I don't want to get into this, and I just don't want to deal with all this freaking drama. And so it's kind of like now, I went back and this last week started playing my original Xbox again, and it was like, like the old days, really peaceful, really, really calm. There's no drama. Sometimes it's more entertaining. It's a lot more fun to just be alone and not have all the drama of the unexpectedness of people coming in and screaming at you at the top of their lungs or blasting a radio with some crazy music and just doing all this unpredictable nonsense that you're forced to try to tolerate because you decide to play online with random people, And it's like even on Left 4 Dead, you got 8 people in a match. There's 8 slots. And, yeah, you could do a friends only match, but, sometimes people find a way in. They might be on somebody's friends list and they didn't realize it. There's always somebody bad. And it gets old. It just gets old, trying to tolerate that. But I look at the videos, I look back at the videos that we did together, including this guy that he just completely trashed, our group of players completely trashed us. We thought he was our friend. And, I really enjoyed making those videos. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot of fun. It was almost all of it was versus matches. There were some custom campaigns that we did that were friends only matches, but for the most part, most of it is versus. And I did enjoy it. But when I think back now, for every match, for every awesome video that we did, we probably had 2 or 3 matches that were ruined by complete douchebags that came in and just trashed the game. And we ended up having to kill the video and, stop recording and start over again. Or even on just the nights where we weren't recording, we were just playing for fun. Somebody would come in and wreck everything, And it puts everybody in a bad mood. It's kind of like, do I really want to be in a bad mood? Do I really want to take the risk of being in a bad mood? Why should I be in a bad mood because the rest of the world wants to be, And so I think that online multiplayer gaming is fun. It can be fun. You can build relationships with people. There's a lot of really great aspects about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, the drama from it, And it's kind of like with social media. It's the same thing, right? We get people that go on our gaming channels, like on Gamers Bay. I had some troll come and attack our channel the other night, just start throwing profanity everywhere, and I was like, what? Lol. Whatever. Just deleted his crap, and I just kicked him out. I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't know what the deal was. It was the same thing there. There was no explanation at all as to why this guy was going off. But there's, when you're on social media, you're dealing with the whole world, and you can just get all kinds of just crazy wackos. Like on YouTube, there's a lot of really triggered, just really short-wired people that just get angry at anything. I mean, they just get literally angry at nothing, at the thin air, I guess. I don't know. But it is a real similar situation with the way that we interact with people on social media. It's very, very random. Anybody can go to our gaming channels and just start throwing profanity everywhere, and start making demeaning comments, etc. And I've learned to tolerate to some degree, because like with my gaming news stuff, that's something I really, really love to do. And it's like I'm willing to tolerate some of the BS that comes along with it. And I think with multiplayer gaming, I think there's you have to be willing to tolerate some of the nonsense. And if you're not, then it's not going to work out for you. You're just going to be in a bad mood all the time. It's not worth it, So it depends on how much BS you can take. Some people can handle more than others. I've kind of learned to handle more. When I first got on social media years ago, about 5 years ago, I got on social media for the first time on Google Plus, and I did not handle it very well when people came at me with insulting remarks. I would get angry, I would get pissed off, and I would go off on them, and it would be a shouting match to social media, and that's what these people want. The angry trolls, angry delirious people, they're looking to pick a fight. They want to make you miserable. They're already miserable. You can't make them any more miserable than they already are. They just want to fight and argue. Now I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, go off on me. I'm just going to block you, and that's the end of that. And even if I don't block you, I'm just going to ignore you, right? So that's that. I mean, you do kind of get used to it after a while, and we kind of have like our own spaces. We have our own chill spots, like on Google Plus. Gamers Bay has its own gaming community. Zord Central is very much a very big part of that. And it's kind of our safe haven. We don't tolerate any BS there. People come in, they don't always agree with us. We don't always agree with them. People don't always agree with each other in the community. There's 15,000 some hundred people there. But the people, everybody's real respectful towards each other, and for the most part, people get along. And it's kind of like that's our home. It's our place to chill, and there's really no drama there. It's not like here on YouTube. YouTube is just like, I don't know what the deal is. YouTube just attracts a lot of mentally deranged people for whatever reason. Google Plus is a lot more laid back and chill, and the communities are even more chill. Not a lot of drama. So I don't even spend a lot of time. I'll be honest, I do not spend much time on YouTube. I'm usually hanging out in the community with Michael, who operates, this is, like I said, this is his channel, Michael Haney, the Resort Central. He owns this channel. We don't hang out here much on YouTube. We hang out on Google Plus. That's our cup of tea. And if I'm not on Google Plus, I'm out on Twitter, and I'm hanging out there, and I'm chilling with people out on Twitter. Twitter's a lot of fun. There's some trolls and stuff on there, but it's not that bad. It's definitely not as bad as YouTube either. Online gaming, Steam, yes, there's lots of trash there. But you can block people, you can kick people from the matches. But Left 4 Dead 2 is still a lot of fun after all these years. I still play it. But yeah, it hurts, man, because here it's like, this is somebody that I played with for like 5 months. It's like, wow, man, really? And you're gonna trash me now like this? You're gonna trash us? What's up with that? And it makes me wonder, how can people change that fast? Here I trust people. There's a handful of people that operate my media across the web, and I have a lot. Some of my media brands are freaking huge. They're humongous. Okay, my largest community on Google Plus is about to hit 200. It's about to hit 250,000 members. I have other communities that are at 150, 160,000 range. Gamers Bay is pretty big. And so I put a tremendous amount of trust in these people that manage my brands that I've made friends with over the years. I put a tremendous amount of trust in these people's hands. Like Michael, I trust him wholeheartedly. I have no doubt in my mind. I just can't believe he would ever turn on me. I don't think he would. I know he would never do it. He would never turn on me. The guy that turned on us on Left 4 Dead 2, for the Left 4 Dead 2 community, it wasn't expected, but I didn't know him. I didn't know him on a personal level the same way that, say, I know Michael. Okay, I didn't know him to that extent. I didn't know him that well. Me and Michael have kind of been through the thick and the thin with the stuff online. We're trying to find our way in this world. We're not the most financially stable people. Like in my case, I used to run a tech support business, and I'm college educated. I went to school to college for computer science and stuff like that, and I had a good job for a long time. And this economy, things went the way they did, and I lost my job. That's how I ended up on the web and building media. And it's tough, man, to make a buck doing this stuff. It's really, really hard. It's just a lot harder work than I ever did. Like when I worked in the restaurant industry, that was a piece of cake. That was a walk in the park. I don't have that luxury anymore where somebody's just going to hand me a job and I can just get a paycheck. So it's like, even from the media side of things, it's tough, man. It's really, really tough. But there's people here, I've learned to figure out who my real friends are, who I can trust. And then I bring those people into my inner circle, and I allow them to have access to the stuff I spent tens of thousands of hours building, like Gamers Bay and some of my other brands. I'm not going to get into all of those right now, but I have other, like a social networking brand and so forth. But yeah, it really sucks when, you get to know people, you build a relationship with them, you get to trust them, and you really think that they're really a decent friend, and then all of a sudden they just completely crap on you. Just will go, totally toxic on you. There's no explanation as to why. And it's a real shame. I hope that eventually this guy, for whatever reason, like I said, I don't know why he went off on us. I'm hoping he'll snap out of it. And, I don't know what's going on in his life. And, I don't know. I don't think it had anything to do with us. I think it was something that happened outside of, outside of the web, outside of our online gaming matches, nothing to do with us, apparently. He didn't feel too compelled to share with us, but something wasn't right because, there was like no rhyme or reason to the way he acted, for sure. But, yeah, I'm gonna start being a lot more cautious and a lot more careful about the people I interact with on it in my online gaming matches on games like Left 4 Dead. And I have met a lot of people. I have met because like we did 600 hours of recording alone. I don't know how maybe I spent 800 hours playing Left 4 Dead this year. I don't know, maybe 1,000, whatever it was. And so, yeah, I've met a lot of people, and you get to know people, and you're like, oh, some people you're like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna play with this person again. I'm gonna finish this match, and that's gonna be it. And then you meet somebody else, and you kind of get to know them after playing with them a few times. Like, yeah, they seem okay. I'm kind of getting off standish with people because after what just happened and all the drama that I dealt with on platforms like Xbox Live, I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with all this. So I'm starting to get a lot more selective about the people that I associate with. Now, as far as like social media goes, well, anybody could come and just, that's just kind of the way it is. Anybody could just come along and just start crap, and you just ignore it, But on platforms like on online multiplayer games, like Left 4 Dead, people are really cliquish, and if one person turns against you, their friends will turn against you, and so I just don't get involved on a personal level with a lot of people there. It's been less than 10 people that I really associate with on a regular basis, and I leave it at that. And we have people that come in and fill in the match for the other team. Of course, there's some jealousy there. We've had some people get angry because they go, well, it seems like every time you guys do a video, you always get your perspective and you don't get ours. And I'm like, well, I can't get your perspective. If I'm playing the game, I have to get mine, There's no magic way for me to do that other than to spectate a match. And nobody wants to seem to organize that. They want me to play. Well, if you want me in the match, then I'm not going to be able to spectate it while I'm playing it. I have to play it too. So, that's kind of how that goes. People will just get butthurt for no reason, But, at the same time, a lot of the Left 4 Dead community, they're real supportive to help me to grow my gaming channel, my gaming brand, to grow Gamers Bay, to help me to produce content for my brand. And I really appreciate that. That actually means a lot to me. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't feel as compelled to do as much multiplayer gaming now. I feel like, keeping it short and sweet with the Left 4 Dead stuff rather than, because it's got to the point, like even over the summer, we had periods of like 3 or 4 days where people just come in and just wreck the match. Just wreck the match for everybody else. And, it just gets old. You just get tired of it. And even this last week, we had trolls come in and wreck the match, on top of the guy that came in, here's what's so screwed up. It wasn't just him. He invited this other guy, this really mentally deranged dude to come in the match and join us. And this guy started going off everybody too. And I was like, what the... I'm like, who the hell is this? And I kicked him. I kicked the other guy out. I kicked him from the match. And when I was unable to reason with who we thought was our friend, I just shut the whole lobby down and just called it quits. So I'm really interested to hear what are your thoughts on this. Sometimes what do you guys think? Is have you gotten to a point where you just got sick and tired of the online multiplayer gaming experience? Have you ever gone back to just doing the solo routine where it's just you and a controller, or just playing with a very small group of friends on private matches on your favorite games? Because I can see doing that too. Even games like Left 4 Dead have friends only features. Like, sometimes you can just go and just do a campaign, stay out of the versus stuff with 8 players, and just play with that small core group of friends. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. Definitely let us know below in the comments. And if you can hit the like button, subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out Gamers Bay Community on Google+. I will include a link below in the description so you guys can check out the community. The Zorch is actually very much a part of. It's actually used to promote this channel as well. And I really appreciate you guys watching. And many, many thanks, and take care.